Hello everyone, my name is Alvin and today you'll learn how to create a PowerPoint for our Friday worship. Now, the first thing you need to do is to get ProPresenter 4. It's by Renewed Vision ProPresenter 4. Not 5, not 6, but currently ProPresenter 4 has been taken down off of the download website. So what I'll probably have you do is to get a USB from me, and I'll put the installer on there. But for now, here it is. This is ProPresenter 4. So the first thing you want to do is you just want to open it and click demo. Right, and it'll start to load, so just give it a second. So the first thing you want to do is to close this security warning. Just close it. I don't know what it means. Just close it. Alright. And then here is your information center. If you need video tutorials or FAQs, here it is. But because I am your help, you don't need this right now. So the first thing you want to do is to just take a look at everything. Right. You got your slides here. You got your window here. You got all your songs library, all that. This is what we're going to be dealing with for the next few years. Right, you can notice how colorful they are, right? Like, look how colorful they are. Okay, but that's nevertheless. But let's move on. So at the bottom left, you want to click Add a Playlist, and you want to name this playlist to a date on the Friday that you're going to be presenting. So I'm going to name this. This doesn't matter. Right, and now you created your playlist. Right, everything inside of this right here, this white box, is your songs inside of this playlist. Okay, so let's say we want to make a new song. Let's call it Reckless Love, because I had another song that was also called Reckless Love. So let's just Reckless Love testing. Right. So we're gonna take this song and we're gonna move it into here. Do you see how I did that? I just moved it into here. Right. And then I'm gonna put another song like Do It Again. Right. So we got our Reckless Love testing, and we got our Do It Again. Right. You can actually switch the order by dragging and like dropping this above, and you'll see a small line that will appear. You see that line that will show where to put it. Right. For now, we want Reckless Love to be first. Right. And you'll know which is the order because they will tell you. Right. The worship leaders will tell you, oh, here's the order and here's all the songs. Right. So the first thing you want to do is, when you're creating a song, is, well, you want to press this button, type out your title, and drag it onto your playlist. Right, and then you want to click on it now, and now you'll be presented with one box. Right, you can't type a whole song on one box, so you need more. So at the bottom here, you want to press Insert Slide, Insert New Slide, and we need about 16 of them. 21 is fine. I miscounted. Right, and this is your presenting right here. This is how you present. You want to just click on it. It's how you present is just clicking on it. Now you have to click in the right order, but this is where it is. And you'll notice at the top right here in this box, this is your output box. Everything that happens here is going to be projected. Right. But we don't want to present sample, template, centered text, and centered large box, right? We don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is click this editor right here, and you want to click the first slide. Now, you want to click on this, copy all of this, and you want to change it to your font. Make sure you have this text properties. Open this A right here. Right? You want to click your font style. I like Verdana, but at church we use this font called CMG Sans. Now, if you know how to download a font, right, then use it, because we're using CMG Sans. Alright, I'll provide a link in the description if you need to know where to get it, but don't worry about it now, because we can always change it later at church. Right, for now, for this example, we're going to use Verdana. We're going to set it to regular, and we're going to set our size down to 50. Right, make sure that you have this all selected. Right, and then you want to press the center. Right, you do not want it like this, or like this, or like that. Right, you want it centered. Right, and you don't want it like this or this. You want it center, right here. You want to apply all, so now all the slides will be applied to. Now, if you add another slide, like say you add another slide right here, 22, it will be different from 21. Look at that. You see? That is because you did not add the font size and the font before you pressed applied all. So just make sure you redo it when you go to the slide, but for now we don't need it, so I'm going to delete that. Excuse me. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your top. Right. For the first slide, I usually just delete it, right, because this slide will be used as a background. And now we're going to type the title on here. So this is called Reckless Love. I forgot to capitalize. Reckless Love. Reckless Love. That's it. Don't press enter, because when you press enter, you'll go down. Make sure you don't have any extra space down here, because it'll move the font up. Right. So that's done. Right. Now you want to right click. You want to label it. Right, and you want to label a title. Right, if you do not have the title, if you don't have this, right, or if you don't have any of these, right, you only have like verse 1, verse 2, like these, don't worry, all you have to do is just create other, right, call it title or whatever, add to label preferences, and press OK. And what should happen is that it should come out here. Right, so that's good. Now we want to type out the verses. So right now I'm gonna put a audio file up for you, and you can just gonna listen for the first verse for the first minute or two, and then we'll come back. Okay.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me.
So that was the first verse of Reckless Love. Now, in order to get the song lyrics, you want to go to Google and search up Reckless Love by Corey Asbury, and then you want to search up chords, CHORDS, chords. When you type up chords, it will show you all the chords, but it'll also tell you verse 1, verse 2, verse 3. So that's how you could easily discern which one is which. So once you have your lyrics up, see, I have it on my second monitor. Here you go. Right. I'll put it on my second monitor. You guys won't see it, but the first verse says, "Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Right. So we're gonna start typing. Now, usually you would put a comma here. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. Now, I personally don't like commas, so I would remove that. And then when you say you want it capitalized because you're talking about God, right? And God is real, so you want to capitalize you. You were singing over me, right? Now you can either put you have been so good to me right here, but since there's a little space between you were singing over me and you have been so good to me, it's fine. You can make it into 2 slides. Here, you can listen again. Listen to the pause before I spoke a word.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me.
Pause.
You have been so good to me.
Did you notice how there was a pause between? There was actually a pause right here, and there was a pause right here between this line and this line. So what you want to do, if there's a big pause like that, you can just exit that and move on to the next slide and put the song lyrics. So you have been so good to me. So again, you would put a comma here, but I don't like commas, so just remove it. And remember, you want to capitalize the U, and no commas, no punctuation. The only punctuation that should be okay would be apostrophes, right? But otherwise, don't do it. Right? Apostrophes only okay. No periods, no punctuation, and this is important. You have to capitalize the first letter of every line. Right? It happens that you would also be capitalized anyways. And it's not just you. There's other words that need to be capitalized, like him, he, your, and then let's say it says the King of Kings, right? The first king would be capitalized, but the second king wouldn't. The King of Kings, the kings would not be capitalized. See, that's just something you have to look out for. Be careful. Right? Let's finish typing this. And then you got before I can't type because there's a huge microphone in front of me. Before I took a breath, you breathe. Your would be capitalized. Life in me. Right? And then this would be the same. You have been so kind to me. Right? So you got your first verse down. So now what you want to do is you want to color code it. So you want to label. You want to label it. Press right click, label verse 1, verse 2, verse 1, no, not verse 2, verse 1, and verse 1 again. So now you got it color coded. Now listen to the song again.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so kind to me.
Now Next is going to be the chorus, so just listen to that.
Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah.
So that was just the chorus. So we're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna listen to all the pauses. Look at all the pauses in the song. So we're gonna just start typing. Right, and here we would have a hyphen because that would make sense. Now you can see that there's a lot of words for the screen. So if it overflows, like let's say that this was like this, what you need to do is make the slide just smaller by a little, so that it would go down, right? But you can also combine this into two slides, or not two slides, but two lines. So you would hear the pauses in the song, right? You would know that here is 2 commas. Right, and let me play that to you and listen to the pauses in the overwhelming, never ending, and reckless love of God. Just listen to it.
And I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
Now there weren't really pauses, but they were just phrases that just happened, that if you break it up here, right, it would flow. So for example, you would never break it at this. You would never break it as that. Why? Because you wouldn't break a word in part, right? So you don't want to break the flow in part, right? But I like to have this as one line, so we're gonna keep it as one line. Right, let's move on to the next one. So this one I would make into 2 parts. Now you need to decide where to break it at. Do you break it at the 99, or do you break it at somewhere else? So just listen to the song again. I know I'm missing.
The 99. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99.
If you heard it as fights till I'm down. Wait, what? Fights till I am found, leaves the 99. Then you are correct. Alright, let's listen to it again.
Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99.
So this would be correct. There's also other ways to do it, but this is how I like it. Right, because you want your first line to be longer than the second line. Right? It doesn't matter. Nobody would notice. But So you got your first two, right? And then you got your next one. Now you need to break this up too. Now just listen to it. Just listen for the pauses and you'll know when to break it.
I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away.
So, where should you break it? So if you said somewhere around here, you're going to be correct. So it says, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. So you could break it here, or you could break it here, right? But I prefer here. And then since the last line of the chorus is the same thing as the first line in the chorus, you just copy this. So just copy this and place this after, because the first line of the chorus is the same thing as the fourth, right? And again, you would label this as chorus. You gotta do this manually for all of them. And so eventually you'll have to do verse 2 and then the bridge, right? But you do not have to do chorus again. I know that we're going to be repeating the chorus, but you don't have to type it out again. All you have to do is just don't type it. Just only type the next thing after this. If you look at the sheet music, it says verse 2 right here, and you'll go down for 4, and then you need the bridge after that. So that's how you create it. So, and then after you're done with everything, you want to just delete all the extra slides that you don't need. Right, just delete it, and then you want to leave one slide. Empty, so when you're not presenting anything, you can have this slide to go back on, and then it just won't display anything. So that's it. So that's all you need to know on how to create it. So eventually it's gonna look like this. So this is how it's supposed to work. Oh, wait. This is how it's supposed to work. You got your background. I like to put out multiple because if you delete this, see now you got the first one right here, and then it's all separated from that. It's just a aesthetic thing. So don't worry about that. Right. Oh, by the way, if it's golden right here, if it's golden, that means it's unsaved. So what you want to do is go to File, Save All.